92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
You can find anything at Target. You can get towels, toiletry, groceries. You can find sad, dejected boyfriends following around their girlfriends on a Sunday afternoon.
Just defeated.
Hungover, wishing a Mack truck would drive through the wall and run them over and just end their misery. But enough about my experiences at Target. You can also find a date at Target if you know how to look, and that's exactly what happened to today's second dater, Amanda, who is on the phone. Hey, Amanda, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm good.
What's up? So, how does one find a date at Target?
Actually, I wasn't expecting anything. I was in the cleaning supply section, and this guy just kind of came up to me and, he kind of used like, oh, what kind of cleaning products do you use kind of line.
That always gets me going.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey.
Man.
Yeah.
Ooh, you throw some Simple Green on me?
Uh-oh.
Hello. So you guys bonded over cleaning supplies.
Pretty much. I mean, he came up to me and was asking me what kind of cleaning products do I use for my kitchen.
Ow.
And that was it,
I
huh?
was like, okay, this is a pickup line, but I'll go with it because he was cute.
Oh, so it was obvious that he was just trying to make conversation.
I think so. I mean,
Okay.
who comes to the cleaning section and starts asking people what kind of products they use?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he had a real dilemma. Generic brand name.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I didn't know if maybe the two of you just thought it was so sexy to be talking about cleaning supplies that you had to go out.
How quickly did he move from cleaning supplies to let's go out on a date? Because that's got to be somewhat of an awkward transition.
No, I mean, we were talking for about maybe like 10, 15 minutes. And he's like, hey, do you want to grab some coffee? Which then coffee led into drinks. And I was like, yeah, it was actually, he was pretty smooth about it. I wasn't really awkward at all.
You get hit on a lot when you're out? Is this a normal thing for you, or is it?
I mean, sometimes I get catcalled, but, I don't get picked up at like Target or stores while I'm shopping.
So this was a new experience for you. If I were shopping at Target and somebody just came up and started hitting on me, I think it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So what did you guys do on your date?
We went to this cafe, and we were going to have coffee, but then we both got hungry after we were chatting for a while, so we ended up going to a restaurant, having dinner, so it ended up being like a long, nice evening.
Wow.
Which is usually a great sign if things just keep continuing. What was the best part of it for you?
I just think we were laughing a lot. We had a lot in common. We both love outdoor sports, and everything went well till the end of the date, which was just awkward.
Until the end of the date.
Oh, man.
We spent like 4 or 5 hours together, which is a really long date. Had great conversation. We're laughing, and then in the end, I kind of thought he would go in for the kiss, and instead, he stuck his hand out and shook my hand.
Oh,
That's
what?
He handshook you?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
A guy handshaking a girl is very unusual.
Awkward.
How did that whole thing, explain to me how that happened? Because there are those times where you'll go to hug someone, but then you think they might want to shake, so you kind of do like a half shake and then half hug, and it's all messed up.
Yeah.
But was it like that, or he literally was making an effort to handshake you and not hug you?
I almost stepped in for a hug, and he immediately took his hand out, so I kind of pulled back, and then I stuck my hand out and shook his hand. But this is what's weird. He saw me at Target, so I know he's not gay.
Yeah.
He picked me up. He asked me out. So he knows what I look like. It's not like we were online dating. He had no idea. So
Yeah.
I just don't know what went wrong at the end of the day.
Well, after the handshake, did you guys make any plans to go out again, or did you drop hints at least?
He said, yeah, I'll call you. Let's go for a hike. And I was like, okay, sounds great.
So he even suggested the activity of going for a hike after handshake.
Right.
Weird.
Were you giving him weird signals, like maybe you weren't being very obvious that you were interested in
Well,
him?
no, I didn't pick up on any weird signs, and I didn't give him any bad signs. So I didn't feel that I did anything wrong, or I may have led him in the wrong direction. I just am confused.
Okay, so nothing weird happened on your date. Everything was perfectly normal, like you said. You guys were laughing,
Yeah.
hanging out, and then at the end of it, you try to go in for a hug, and he just sticks out his hand and shakes your hand. And
Shook it, yeah.
Don't write him off because of that, Amanda. He could have been nervous. He could not kiss on the first date. I mean,
I
you
know,
found.
but at least give me a hug.
I know, but you found a guy that cleans. Don't give up on him.
yeah, the sexiest thing ever.
Well, I have given up on hope. I mean, it's been 2 weeks since he called me, and the last thing I remember is a handshake. So
Okay, so that was going to be my next question. It's been 2 weeks since you went out with this guy,
yeah.
and you haven't heard a single word after your handshake.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
All right, well, we'll play a song, come back, call him, get him on the phone, and get your second date update, okay?
Thank you.
Hang on.
Baby, I'm playing on you tonight. Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
You know, Amanda, I don't want you to feel bad that your date ended in a handshake. Because, I don't know if you know this, but in a lot of cultures, a handshake is even more intimate than sex. Okay, I don't know exactly what cultures that exist in, but
Devout religious ones?
I just made it up right now and it sounded good to me. So don't feel bad that the guy you want us to call today ended your date by shaking your hand and not giving you a hug or a kiss.
Okay.
If you're just tuning into the second date update, Amanda wants us to call this guy named Danny. They met at Target. He hit on her. They went out, had a good time. She can't think of anything that went wrong on the date, but it did end with him giving her a handshake. Did it seem like he didn't want to touch you, or did it seem like a handshake was just normal for him to do?
I feel like he didn't want to touch me.
You feel like he didn't
Yeah.
want to touch you. Okay.
But he offered the hiking after that. That's what the mixed messages have to be so confusing for you.
Yeah, it is. I just think maybe he had a personal issue that I don't know about, and I'm trying not to get personal.
Maybe he's like a germaphobe. He
That's
could
true.
be. You met him in the cleaning section at Target. That's a legit, that's actually a good theory. I just surprised myself with that. That might actually work. All right, well, I'm going to dial the phone number right now, see if we can get him on the phone, and hopefully find out what went wrong on your date and why he's not calling you back, okay? All right, here we go.
Hello?
Hey, I was looking for Danny.
Yeah, this is Danny.
Danny, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Good.
I'm calling you today because you recently went out on a date with one of our listeners, and they gave us your phone number and asked us to call you.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Her name is Amanda. She emailed us and told us about how you picked her up at a Target. She thought that was a really cute move, by the way, and told us a little bit about your date, said that she really liked you, but I guess it's been like 2 weeks now, and you're not returning her phone calls.
Uh-huh.
Would you mind maybe giving us some insight into why it's been 2 weeks and you haven't called Amanda back?
I guess I just can't see myself being in a relationship with her, and that's kind of what I'm looking for.
Is it because of something she did on the date, something she said?
I mean, I didn't get to know her really well, but she was kind of gross on our date.
How
was
is
gross.
How is she gross?
Just her manners, I'm not sure really like how she was raised, and it was kind of shocking to me.
Wow, I'm very curious now, Danny. Yeah. Because according to her, your date was perfectly normal. She didn't do anything weird. The thing that she did say was strange about your date was how you shook her hand at the end. Is that why you shook her hand? Because you thought she was gross?
Yeah, I needed an exit.
Can you give me one specific thing?
Yeah.
Was she sloppy when she was eating her food? She not put her napkin on her lap? What specifically made you think that she's nasty?
Well, it was going fine, and like halfway through the meal, she grabbed my hand and she leaned over into my ear and whispered, "I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
I have to honk out a dirt snake."
No, she did not say that on a first date. Are you
You're
kidding
lying.
me?
You're lying about that, Danny.
That could not be real.
I swear to God.
And she
What was that
whispered
term again? What was that term again?
Oh, man. She said I have to honk out a dirt snake.
Was she being funny, or was like this a
That's
legit?
what I thought. I thought she was making a joke, and I just said, "Are you serious?" She just said, "No, really, I have to go download a brown load. I'll be back in a few minutes."
Stop
She had to have been joking then.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Come on, man. Like
I don't know one girl that would do that
way.
seriously.
she had to have been. She had to have been joking with you, Danny.
She was not. She left. She was gone for a few minutes. I mean, at the time, I couldn't eat. I lost my appetite. That's how serious she was being.
What did she say when she got back to the table? Like, she had to have had a smile or been laughing.
Yeah, she had a smile, and she patted her belly, and she said, "It looks like someone dropped the kids off at the pool."
With it.
She's so good.
Oh my gosh. Was your face red?
I didn't know what to say, and she just jumped right back into her meal. And after a few minutes, she noticed, and she thought I didn't like it. She asked me if I didn't like the food, and I said, I just pretended I was feeling sick.
I would have been so grossed out. Like, I've been with my girlfriend like a year and a half now, and I don't even know that she does that still.
Oh my God.
And I don't ever plan on knowing that she does that. So, all right, Danny, I can understand why that would be a turnoff for you.
Yeah, that's why I shook her hand. I needed to get out of there.
All right. Danny, thank you very much for being honest. I'm sorry you had to endure that date.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I'm sorry, too, I guess. Is that all that you guys needed today, or?
Yeah, that's just about everything. I'll let her know. Actually, why don't you let her know what the problem was on the date? Because she's actually listening and on the other line right now.
Oh,
Amanda, did you actually say those things, or is he over-exaggerating?
Yeah, I said those things.
You did?
Amanda!
What? Why?
Women do go to the bathroom, and I like to joke around a lot, and I said it in a joking manner, and I was going to be honest with him, you know?
Okay, so the lines that you used, those were jokes, but you really did have to do what you said you were doing?
Yes.
There's truth in every joke, Jubal.
But I don't know why you're being such a stickler about it. I mean, don't you go to the bathroom?
yes, I do, but I don't tell people like that. I mean, you could have just said, I'm going to go to the restroom, or powder your nose, or whatever.
Yeah, say that.
But it wasn't a joke. I had to
Amanda,
Dude, I give it up to you, girl.
Amanda, you don't care at all, huh?
I mean, honestly, would you rather me at the table be like, hey, I got to go
No, I don't think that's what Danny's saying.
No, you could have said, I have to go to the bathroom. To say it that way is if, like, I'm your brother and we're hanging out, you know.
Oh.
Well, I'm just descriptive. I'm a joking kind of person, and I'm descriptive, and so I have fun.
I will say, I wish I had a little bit more Amanda in me, because I haven't even talked about poop with my husband if we've been married.
Everyone, guys, be open-minded. Everybody does it. It's a part of our human biological, systems. Like, we all go to the bathroom.
Yeah, but we stopped talking like that when we turned 14.
Amanda, you're telling me no other guy you've dated before has had a problem with this?
No, my last boyfriend, he used to come out of the bathroom and we'd high-five.
Are you serious?
I bet we're going to get a ton of people on the text board who want to go out with you for this reason alone,
Probably.
Amanda. I mean, you're blunt and you're open.
Yeah, I'm honest, guys.
Yeah, I guess you're honest. I just, it's a first date. I mean, when you go out on a first date, you're supposed to, be a little more careful with what you say.
But shouldn't you know me for me? Why should I be hiding things?
Danny, you were attracted to her at one point. Couldn't you see the humor in it?
I mean, she whispered in my ear, dirt snake.
All right, good point.
Yeah.
Well, Danny, I would love to ask if you'll go on a second date with Amanda. We will pay for it.
I guess I can see where she's coming from, and it's great that she's so comfortable with herself, but I honestly can't stop thinking about dirt snake.
Okay, so, Amanda,
Listen, that's just me being who I am, and if he's not comfortable with it, then we're just not compatible.
Amanda, I really enjoyed meeting you, kind of, and, good luck.
Oh.
all right, no second date, Amanda. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm not sorry, guys. I'm not.
Yeah.
And you know what? Thank you for letting us all today learn a new phrase in the second date update.
Seriously.
Download a brown load will now be in my vernacular permanently.
Right,
Thank
and you guys will laugh about it later on.
Yes, we will, Amanda. Man, today's second date update has opened up the floodgates on our text message board at 78592. Texts in like this one. My wife sat on my lap and farted on me on our first date. It was love at first fart. We've been together for 6 years. We crap in front of each other all the time. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning. I'm moving 92.5. Why are we getting texts like that? Well, because this girl named Amanda wanted to call this dude named Danny and find out why he wasn't calling her back after their date. She couldn't think of any reason why he wouldn't. Everything went great, except at the end of the night, he gave her a handshake. We called Danny, got him on the phone. Turns out that Amanda is very open with her bodily functions and even uses creative verbiage when telling you that she has to go to the bathroom. Things like on a first date, mind you, leaning over to the table going, "Hey, I'll be back. I got to go download a Brownlow." Just joking around with the guy about taking a number 2, and most people are not comfortable with that. I am one of those people.
gosh.
Been with my girlfriend about a year and a half now. Don't even know that she does it.
She doesn't.
prefer
Don't worry,
to
Jubal, she doesn't.
Never know that.
I remember
don't even
the-
really like knowing when my friends are going to do it. I just go ahead and take care of that business
There's a
yourself.
lot of people
One
on
of
the
my-
text board that are cool with it, though, that they say they
my
would go
God.
out
No,
with
that's
her.
so many people.
Yeah.
Like, where is she? I'm ready for this girl to be my wife at 78592.
You guys realize she might talk about her time of the month with the same
Yeah, but she's
freedom.
funny.
Are you excited
She's
for that?
Funny. You know,
It's
she's got a
funny.
sense of humor, and
Is that a
some
sense of
people
humor?
like that. Yeah, absolutely.
It's
I
funny,
can't do
like
it,
the
but
first
good for
couple
her.
times, but imagine being on her 5 years from now. You've been dating for 5 years, okay? After 5 years, nobody's attracted to each other anyway. And then you have to sit there and listen to her continue to make these jokes. You're just like, okay, it's got to stop at some point. Another text in at 78592. This chick is amazing. She's funny, open, hot enough to pick up. This guy is a total tool. Another one that
I see it.
I bet she's as dirty in bed as her dirty mouth.
I
All
don't
right,
think
but
you want
listen.
that kind of dirty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a different kind of dirty.
It might be bad. But everybody texting in at 78592, there's not a lot of people that are ripping her for being so open
This is the-
about having to take a
This
Tuesday
is
in the middle of her date.
second date that I've ever been scarred. Like, I will never, ever
Oh,
forget the
come on.
term
Oh,
bird
it's definitely
snake.
not the first one I've been scarred, but yeah, that's
So funny.
I still wish I was more like her. I mean, the first time I farted in front of my husband was one of the most embarrassing moments.
You
of
told
my
you
us
know
you
why?
like eat on the toilet and
Yeah.
keep the door open and talk to
Yeah,
each
but
other.
that's only with peeing, Lydia. Peeing is not gross.
But you still keep the door open and have chats with
Number
You're
each
one,
other.
still
fine.
sitting on the toilet eating food talking to your husband, no matter what you're
So
doing.
don't worry, you're like her.
Yeah, you're pretty. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're exactly like this girl. Actually, you're probably
Closed.
worse.
Stay more closed, actually. Don't be more open.
you just wait. That is love right there, is what that is.
I don't know. I never want to be in love with him, that's for sure.
Looking for the perfect birthday or anniversary gift or a special date night? Well, then you need Zodart, Seattle's only exotic car rental company. Visit Zodart.com to book an exotic special car for that very special day.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
In my opinion, it's always a good date when the possibility of handcuffs getting whipped out comes into play.
On a
Yeah.
first date. Wow.
Not everybody feels that way. Like Frank, who's on the phone for a second date update right now. What's up, Frank?
Hey guys, what's up?
Not much. So you almost got the handcuffs put on you, huh? On a first date. That's what I like to hear.
It's like Freaky Frank already, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of fun, Frank, in your email about your date, but I guess it wasn't?
Yeah, it wasn't what I would love to exactly have, but that's how it goes.
You sound awkward just even saying that.
Yeah.
It just wasn't one of my proudest moments, really.
Before we get into that, tell us a little bit about the girl that you want to call today. What's her name?
Her name's Jenna.
Jenna. And how did you meet Jenna?
We met through some mutual friends, just at a party, and we were both hanging out, and just there seemed to be a little bit of a clicking. You know what I mean?
Okay, so did you know immediately that you wanted to ask her out?
Oh, definitely. She was hilarious.
Oh, awesome.
I love that she was just had a great sense of humor, and she had an awesome smile, and she had this really cute mole. It was between her left eye and her nose. And
Cute mole, huh?
it's going to sound a little normally I'm not really into moles at all. They kind of weird me out, but he was rocking
Okay.
it. You know what
Wow.
I mean? There's something about
Okay.
it
There's
that was
something sexy about a girl who's not scared to rock her mole. I agree with you on that one, Frank.
sexy. It was like a sexy mole. So, yeah.
Obviously worked because you guys went out on a date, right? Tell us about the date.
Well, I love indie films, so I asked her to see this indie film that my friend actually worked on. He was a cinematographer on it, and he was just super talented, and I just wanted to go support.
So how was the movie?
It was, I thought it was good. At one point, I was kind of nervous too because
I had French onion soup at lunch, and I was like, I didn't have a chance to like brush my teeth, so I was worried, I don't know if I had like bad breath or something. But
All those onions.
she leaned in at some point, so I felt like, okay, this is going great,
Like she leaned in to kiss you during the film?
Just like to like be closer, I think, just kind of like lean up against me, but it was just like, I think she was just trying to get closer.
Right. Okay. And you didn't try to kiss her at that point?
I mean, I didn't kiss her, but I was like thinking, all right, this is like, we're going to get a kiss at the end of the night,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good romantic move there.
Did you get a kiss at the end of things?
No. I mean, here's what happened after that. So the movie got out, and then, we're driving, and I ended up getting pulled over, and I guess my taillight was out or something. Like, that's what the cops said, and I was just, like, talking my way out of it just because, like, I already have 2 tickets, and I just, I don't want to jack up my insurance.
Right.
So I thought I was a pretty smooth talker, and it seemed to be okay, and it just felt different after for some reason, like...
After you got pulled over?
Yeah, like, well, I got back in the car, and I was like, that was weird, and she kind of didn't really, like, wasn't laughing like I thought she would have or something.
Wait, they had you out of the car?
Yeah, that's my question, too. That's extreme.
Yeah, I got out of the car to talk to the cop because I just didn't want her to hear, anything was going on, and
I thought it was a lot worse, like the cop said, get out of the car, like that kind of thing.
Gun drawn.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that, like, dramatic.
Wait a minute, though. Why didn't you want her to hear?
I don't know. When I'm on, like, a first date with someone, I don't want exactly for them to hear that it's like, oh, this isn't my first ticket. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want her to think I'm, like, some irresponsible guy getting tickets all the time,
Okay.
And so what happened when you guys actually got back to her house and you said goodnight?
So I drove her back to her place, and, I'm thinking I'm still going to get, like, a kiss, by the end of the night. And I took her to her door, and she's just like, no, sorry, just not feeling it. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, wait, so you went in for a kiss and she denied you?
Yeah, she's just like, sorry, it was just weird. It just was kind of like cut off.
All right.
And I asked her, I was like, can I call you? And she's like, she was just like really vague. She's like, okay. But it didn't feel like she was super interested.
Not absolutely call me, just, okay, sure, I guess.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, exactly. She's like, all right, yeah, whatever.
Sure.
I wonder what could have happened from the time you went to talk to the cop to getting back into the car that would have made her seem so cold.
Like, I don't know, I have this, like, weird theory that maybe she dated that cop or something.
What?
I don't know, I just was thinking, like...
You've just been sitting on this, making up stories since you went on your date of things that could have possibly been wrong,
I
right?
don't know, because I can't figure it out. It was like, why would you suddenly just not want to talk or not even, like, accept my kiss?
That is reading deep, sir.
Well, I don't know. I thought, like, I was thinking that. I was thinking, like, is it my breath? Like, was it the French onion soup? Like,
The breath.
All kinds of things.
Slept with the police officer.
Have you tried to call her since the date? I mean, have you tried to reach out to her?
yeah, and just nothing.
Nothing at all.
Hasn't. Yeah.
All right, well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, all right?
All right, cool.
Okay, hang on, man.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
I'm actually really surprised that the guy on the phone to do a second date update today isn't getting a call back because he's a bad boy.
Oh.
That's right. If you missed the first part of today's second date update, Frank is on the phone, and he wants to call a girl named Jenna. And on their first date, he got pulled over, got into a physical altercation with a cop, and then took them on a high-speed chase down the freeway, which eventually ended in the car rolling over 6 times before he was taken into custody.
God, his story has gotten a lot better in the last couple minutes since the last time we talked to him.
Actually, he got pulled over after they went to the movies and then talked his way out of a ticket.
Yeah.
And then after he talked his way out of the ticket, when he got back in the car, she was very awkward and was hardly talking to him. Yeah. At the end of the night, when he dropped her off, he went in for a kiss. She said no. And then he asked if he could call her again. She said, okay. And then he called her again and hasn't heard a thing. Frank?
Hey, guys.
It would have sounded cooler if you would have done all those things that I said you did, by the way.
Yeah, I guess. But, I did something.
Hey, next
time.
time.
At least I did something.
Yeah. We live to date again. The next date you go on, high-speed chase.
Yeah,
Gets them every time.
punch the cop.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh, Frank.
All right, buddy, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you guys give out such good advice.
Really do.
I mean,
All right, man. I'm going to dial her phone number right now, okay?
Okay.
Here we go. Hi, I was looking for Jenna.
Hi, this is Jenna.
Hey, Jenna, what's going on?
Not much. May I ask who's calling?
Sure.
Are you going to answer her?
I don't know. I mean, you can ask.
Oh, you're waiting.
Would you like to know who it is?
Who's calling me? What's going on?
This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning, the radio show.
Are you serious?
Yeah. How are you?
I'm fine. Why are you calling me?
I'm calling you because one of our listeners actually sent us an email about you. His name is Frank.
What?
Yeah. His name is Frank, and you guys recently went to a movie together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Frank told us that after your date, he's been trying to get a hold of you because he would like to see you again, and you haven't been responding to any of his phone calls or text messages or anything.
Oh, my gosh.
So Frank asked us if we could call you and find out why you don't want to see him again.
There's no way that this is real.
No, this is 100% real. It's a segment we do on our show called the Second Date Update. Frank wants to know why you're not answering the phone.
Oh, my gosh.
So are you laughing at the fact that a radio station is calling you, or just the thought of Frank?
Just that he isn't taking me not calling him back and he's having you guys call me? That's very funny.
Well, I think he knows that you've blown him off. Now he just wants to know why, so he figured we could maybe find that out. Do you mind telling us a little bit about your date?
Well, I mean, my date wasn't great, but I don't want to, talk behind his back, especially on the radio.
Yeah, but it's really not behind his back if you think about it. He's the one that asked us to make this phone call. It's not like we're doing it out of the blue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, maybe don't tell him this exact version, but I just can't go out with a guy that I don't respect.
Whoa, that
Wow.
got more serious than I expected it to. I thought you were going to say he's got a weird haircut or something.
Why don't you respect him?
I mean, I don't know how much he told you about the date.
Okay, he told us that he took you to a movie, and then there was an awkward moment when he got pulled over for having a brake light out or something. And then he talked to the cop, got out of the ticket, and when he got back in the car, he said that you were very cold to him. And then you wouldn't kiss him when he dropped you off, and then he said that you haven't answered his phone calls. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
That's a lot, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to tell you his theory on why he thinks you're not calling him back?
Sure.
Because I guess he's been racking his brain for reasons, and he was thinking that maybe the cop that pulled you guys over was somebody that you used to date.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so extreme.
So you're laughing at that. I'm guessing that's not the case. You didn't date that cop?
No, I did not.
Oh,
He just can't figure it out because, according to him, everything was great until he got pulled over, and then after that, you were weird.
Well, he thinks I didn't see what he did, but I saw it.
What did he do?
What?
So we get pulled over. He immediately gets out of the car. I'm like, what are you doing? Stay in the car. The cop's freaking out. He's telling him to get back in the car.
Really?
Yeah, and then he starts crying to the cop to get out of it.
Like tears?
Yes, he's blubbering. He's like, please, officer, I'm on a date and I have all these other tickets and I just really need a break today. It was insane.
I'm picturing a huge scene, the cop with his gun drawn and him sobbing.
No, I mean, it wasn't that dramatic, but they just went to the back of the car and, apparently thought I couldn't hear anything, but I heard everything.
So was he, maybe he was legitimately crying. Some people get really scared and nervous when they get pulled over.
No, because then he gets back in the car and he's all bragging to me well, I really, smoothed my way through that, really talked my way out of that one. How impressive is this?
So he was telling you that when he didn't think that you heard he was crying?
Yeah.
Was he still in tears when he got in the car?
No, I mean, he wiped away his eyes, but he was totally, all smooth soccer, look what I just did.
Why didn't you just call him out on it?
I don't know why I didn't in the moment, but in my my mind the whole time I'm thinking, did you just really cry to get out of the ticket?
The cop was even like, this is awkward.
Yeah.
I got to get out of here.
It worked. He didn't get a ticket. I think it's a great move.
Well, yeah, he didn't get a ticket, but he also didn't get a chance to go out with me again.
Well, thank you for telling us your story, Jenna. I do also want to tell you, I hope that he's not crying right now, but Frank is actually on the other line listening to this conversation and wants to talk to you.
What?
Yeah. Frank?
Yeah.
Wow, Frank.
Oh, my God.
Is what Jenna says true?
You thought I was crying. I mean, are you a moron? Like, it was fake. I just
Excuse
tried
me?
to get out of the ticket. It's called acting. You know what I mean?
Did you just call me a moron? I just told them
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah, I did.
Are you... Okay, well, now not only are you sad and pathetic, but you're also rude.
Well, what was I supposed to do? You were like, we get pulled over for like nothing. You're doing nothing to help. You're like freaking out like it's like an earthquake or something.
Whoa.
And I was
What kind of man are you? You can't even handle getting a ticket. You just speak to the officer, you explain the situation. It's not that hard to do.
Yeah, well, you could have like gotten out or done something like, hey, show them some cleavage, and
What?
Are you kidding me?
Frank!
yeah, that is the least you could have done. Like just show them boobs. Then I wouldn't have had to get out of it.
So
Did
you're
you just
blaming
say that?
you're blaming her for you getting out of the car and crying to the cop to try to get out of a ticket.
And you're suggesting that I flashed this cop? Are you kidding me?
All she was doing was just panicking the whole time. She was just freaking out the whole time, and she
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
"Oh
Okay.
my God!"
I wasn't freaking out. I was just sitting there like anyone would do when they get a ticket. You were the one who was totally freaking out.
Yeah, no, I was the one who handled it.
Handled it like a
it's like
15-year-old girl.
you know what? I was proud of myself, and you should be proud that someone handled the situation.
I didn't know what to do. You're sitting there wailing to this poor cop about how you've got all these other tickets and you're on a date, and how can I possibly respect you when you get back in the car?
Jenna, you're obviously not used to going out with a real man.
Frank, are you just really embarrassed? Is that why you're being so aggressive?
No. Jenna said I was crying. I was not crying. I was fake crying. Okay? There's like a major difference.
Oh.
Hey, Jenna, I would love to ask if you guys would like to go on a second date. Jenna, would you like to go out with Frank again? We'll pay for it.
No.
Oh, what are you talking about, Jenna? What good are you if you can't use your boobs properly?
You know what? I thought you were cool. Like we laughed about the Ghostbusters and like laughed our tails off, and you're just like, have no respect for someone taking care of a situation and handling it like a real man does fake cry.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for years.
Right.
A real man will fake cry to get his way out of things. Like anytime anybody's been
much.
aggressive with me, wanted to fight in a bar or something like that, I cry and I run out. And that's what real men do.
You want to handle this like real men?
Pretty much it.
So that's a no, Jenna. No second date with Frank?
No, and good luck to him finding someone who will.
Oh.
Sorry, Frank.
Jenna, that's fine. I don't care, because if I had to do it again, I would fake cry to another cop, whatever I have to do.
All right, well, it wasn't a successful second date for you, Frank, but you did help us learn a lesson today. That fake crying is the manly way to get out of things. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Text in at 78592 that says, I'd go out on a date with Frank just so he could teach me how to cry to get out of a ticket.
Yeah, good point.
If you missed today's second date update, this guy named Frank wanted to call a girl named Jenna. She wasn't calling him back after their date. He thought it was because he got a ticket. And maybe that was awkward. That wasn't the awkward part. The awkward part was how he got out of the ticket. Apparently, he got out of the car, went back with the cop, and started crying to get out of the ticket. Like, I'm on a first date. You're ruining everything. And she heard him crying to the cop and was like, I can't deal with this guy.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that then he blamed her that he had to do that because she didn't use her boobs properly.
Yep. It was her fault
Yeah,
that he had to
I mean-
fake cry to get out of the ticket.
Gotta
What's
do what
the
you gotta
point of
do.
having those things if you can't use them to get out of the ticket?
Exactly. She did not want to go out with him again, so he did not get
Shocking.
a second date, which is very, very weird. But we did all learn that real men cry to get out of things, because that's what he said. I'm a man, and I took control of the situation. I did what I had to do, and I cried.
Can you imagine them like at a restaurant if like he wants to get a free appetizer?
Just
Like
starts
he's just gonna
crying.
bust it out all the time.
Well, hey, he can do it. I can never get out of a ticket. I've got boobs and I've cried before, and they still give me a ticket. So
Apparently,
maybe Frank has something I don't.
You need to learn something from Frank.
Yeah.
If you want a second date update, all you have to do is email the show. We'll call the person who didn't call you back.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard Flight 92.5.
Are you single and feeling out of the loop? Put away that mouse and get out of the house. Join In the Loop, Seattle's brand new activities club just for singles. Go to intheloopsingles.com today.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
You know, in my experience dating, I've found that there is one surefire way to impress the girl that you're out on a date with.
Oh, this is going to be good.
And that is to complain about the bill. That's right. Complain to the wait staff, complain to the manager, cause a scene if you can. Because that says a lot about you. It says that you're not going to take anybody's crap.
That's
Nobody's
right.
getting over on you. And you know what that says? If there's a long-term relationship between you guys, if you're willing to stand up for being overcharged for a vodka cran now, you're going to stand up for something bigger for her in the future. Women love it
We do.
when you complain about the bill.
You are dialed in to us.
And that's what John did on his first date.
What, John?
Right, John?
Yeah, sadly, this is a fact.
Were you like nickel and diming the restaurant?
No, it's just, it was a happy hour, and, well, I thought it was happy hour, and so, it's just like the bill was twice as much what I was expecting. So I wasn't like trying to be, I'm not cheap. I was just like trying to get what I was supposed to get.
Your email sure sounds like you're cheap, John.
Well, no. Well, then, I should have written it differently because it was just that. First of all, I'm a huge fan of you guys. I just have to say that I love the show, and second of all, as a fan of the show, you know that I'm not cheap. I'm a good person.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, no. If you're a fan of the show, you know that you're probably a terrible person.
Yeah.
And you like the show because it's free, John. Free entertainment.
So
Okay, but if you went to a bar and the bill was twice what you were expecting, you wouldn't be a little confused?
No, I would be confused, but if I was on a date, I probably wouldn't say anything.
I think you can ask without making a scene, like what happened when the bill came.
Okay, so Bill shows up, and, I took the bill because I was going to pay. I was going to be a gentleman. And I just opened it, and we'd only been there for an hour and a half, and it was like a lot more than I was expecting to pay. So I just called over the waiter and said, I think there's been a mistake with the bill. And I knew that I'd screwed up because next thing I know, like, the manager's there, and then the manager's telling me that happy hour ended an hour before I thought. And
It's
awkward.
Like, even the explanation's too long.
Well, the fact that the manager had to come over and
Yeah.
everything else makes it seem like a lot bigger of a deal. Is that why you feel like you're not getting a call back today?
well, there was one other thing.
Oh, there's more to it. Okay.
Yes.
What happened?
So about an hour in, things are going real well. So I suggested that we should go get another drink, but at my place.
All right.
Oh, that's
And-
a pretty bold move.
I wasn't saying, like, let's go to my place to hook up. I was saying, like, let's just go have another drink. I mean, obviously, I would hook up if you wanted to.
Right.
but-
There you go. I was hoping that you would at least admit it, John. So did this happen before or after you challenged the bill?
This was pre-challenging of Bill.
Okay, so you said, let's go back to my place, and she said what?
She said, I'm sorry, I don't do that on a first date. I mean, it was cool. I think everything was going well besides those two things. Like, we were laughing a lot.
Can I ask where you met this girl?
We met at a club.
Oh my God. And an hour into the date, there's no way an hour into a date, a guy I met at the club is asking me back to his house.
No, that wasn't the day I met her. I met her at a club like a week before, and then we went out about a week later, and that's when I asked her back to my place.
Oh, I see.
What's her name, by the way?
Her name's Denise.
Denise. Okay, so you said, let's go back to my place. She said, no, I don't really do that on the first date. And then you said, okay, that's fine. But you know what's not fine? This f***ing bill. They overcharged me. That's a good way to make a first impression, John.
Well, everything else went well.
Was she noticeably upset after all that stuff?
I could tell that things were off. You know when you're like, you feel the vibe like you've lost her? That's how I felt.
What did you like about her so much that you want to do a second date update to ask her out again if you already sort of know why you screwed up?
So the thing that was really cool and surprising about her, and I know this is going to sound horrible, but she's gorgeous, like model, good looking, but she's also like hilarious. And I didn't think that she'd be so funny, like when I met her at the club, and like she was like making fun of me, I was making fun of her, but like in a fun way. She's really cool.
So did she make fun of you after, the ask her back and the bill thing?
No. And so I think that's where I thought that she was kind of upset about how I reacted.
How many times have you tried to get a hold of her since your date?
I have called her 3 times.
And you haven't heard anything back?
Nothing. I should be honest. I called 3 times and I texted about 2 others.
Oh, so you've tried a bunch.
So you don't take a hint very well, do you, John?
I just really like this girl. She's really cool. Denise is really cool. I wouldn't do this with just anybody.
Okay.
So do you want to apologize to her for what you did?
Well, I already did apologize. When we were at the restaurant, I apologized like after the manager left. And I mean, I guess I'll apologize again, but really I just want a second chance.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, all right?
Cool. Thanks a lot, guys.
Okay, hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
John is on the phone with us right now. He wants us to call a girl named Denise today because she's not calling him back after they went out. He met her at the club. They went out for a date. He says part of the reason he thinks he's not getting a call back is because at a certain point during their date when the bill came, he complained about it because he thought it was still happy hour when happy hour had ended. So much so that the manager had to come over and they discussed the bill, and he thinks that was a major turnoff because it got weird after that point. All right, John, before we call Denise and you apologize to her for that incident and see if you can get a second date, I think it'd be a good idea, actually, if I call the bar that you went to as well so that I can apologize to them for your behavior. Would you like me to do that too?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Let's just say sorry to everybody that was involved in your horrible date, John.
Yeah. No, please. Let's call everyone.
Okay.
Were you humiliated when the manager came over to talk to you?
Of course, because it was at the end of the date. It was horrible. I just wish that I hadn't even said it.
Yeah. That's when you look at it and you're like, all right, whatever. It's like 25, 50 bucks more than I was planning on spending. I might as well just suck it up. You know? All right, well, I'm going to dial the phone number right now, get her on the phone, and get your second date update, okay?
Okay.
Here we go.
Hello.
Can I speak to Denise, please?
This is she.
Hey, Denise, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Okay.
What's going on? I'm calling you because we recently got an email about you from somebody who listens to our show.
I'm sorry. What's going on here? I don't understand.
It's a segment we do on our show called The Second Date Update.
Okay.
John asked us to give you a call and find out what went wrong on your date, because I guess he's tried to get a hold of you a few times and you won't call him back.
Okay.
I'll tell you what John told us, because we talked to him, and he says he thinks that you're not calling him back because of a moment at the end of your date when he complained about the bill and like the manager had to come over, and he says he felt really stupid after that point.
Oh, no, he lost me before that.
Whoa.
What did he do before that?
I mean, God, I don't know if I want to talk about this.
Was it where he asked if you wanted to go back to his place and you said no?
He told you a lot about our date, apparently.
He did. He told us all about it because he's really curious what he did wrong and why you don't want to go out with him again.
I wouldn't blame you if you didn't want to go out with him. I'd feel like an hour into the date and he's asking to go back to his apartment. It sounds like a booty call almost.
I mean, I didn't even want to be there after the first 15 seconds of talking to him.
What?
You didn't like him that?
Whoa.
Like that soon into the date?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me because you hung out with him for an hour or so still and had drinks with the guy. If you didn't want to be there at all, why didn't you leave earlier?
I don't know. I guess I felt kind of stuck. Like I needed to keep going through with it.
So you were looking forward to it, and then 15 seconds into the date, he turned you off.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So I walk into the restaurant, and I had butterflies because I was excited to see him again. And he was already there. He had a table for us, and he had pulled out the chair for me. He told me I looked beautiful. He kissed me on the cheek.
Oh,
What
that
a
monster.
jerk. I
Oh,
know.
gosh.
Jeez.
Wait. So we sit down, and I asked him, I was like, hey, how's it going? How have you been? And he answered, oh, God. He says, this is going to sound bad, but I forgot your name.
Oh, that's the worst. What are you doing?
How did he not know your name?
I don't know. We talked for like an hour, and I laughed. I thought he was kidding.
Yeah.
But he wasn't joking?
No, he says, no, I'm serious. And he said, look how I saved you in my phone. And he showed me his phone. And he had saved me in his phone as hot girl from the club.
I have done that before, too.
I currently do that.
Yeah, and you'll be like texting somebody like, I have no idea what her name is. I hope she says it at some point.
I don't know any girl that wants to be known as the hot girl from the club.
I don't know. I don't think it's that bad of an
Yeah, but if the guy's sitting down with you on a date and then has to go, hey, I know we've been talking back and forth, planning this whole date, but I don't know your name at all.
It means he doesn't care about your name.
Yeah.
He was wasted.
So what did you say to him after you found out he didn't know your name?
I don't know. I kind of felt a little like caught off guard. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm Denise. I didn't know how to respond. I wanted him to be mad.
Were you just like disappointed because you really had this crush on this guy and then he didn't even have enough energy to put into knowing your name?
Yeah, I was really looking forward to this date, and then that's how it starts. And from then on, I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll just order a bunch of drinks and have him pay for it.
Smart girl.
Yeah, it's a good way to do it.
She didn't care about the bill.
Can you put the tab under Denise, please? Name Denise in all caps. Wouldn't you like to just tell him, though, like, hey, this is why I didn't call you back was because you didn't know my name. Maybe in the future you should know somebody's name before you got with them?
I just figured maybe that's something he should know, but...
The good thing is he knows it now because he's actually on the other line listening.
What?
Yeah.
Denise, I couldn't hear you at the club. It was really loud. That's why I didn't... I'm so sorry. I swear, I just couldn't hear you that night, and I was too embarrassed to ask you that night what your name was, and I should have just asked then.
Yeah. When you put me in your phone, ask me my name and put it in your phone.
That is a very good point.
Yeah, you have to do that.
You don't go an entire week and then think it's funny to show me that you've given me the nickname Hot Girl from the club.
Well, I was just trying to be honest and tell you I thought it was kind of funny. I thought you'd take it as a compliment. I put you in as Hot Girl.
I am more than just a freaking hot girl.
What did you want, though, Denise? He's not going to put in very smart, intellectual woman.
He's got to get to know you first.
It's not like it didn't come up in conversation when we were at the club. We told each other our names. And I am more than just a person with a body. I don't want to... It means something about him that's all he's thinking about, that he couldn't remember my name from the conversation, but all that he remembered was what my body looked like.
Okay, so that's all I knew at that moment about you. I'm really, really sorry. And if I had the chance to put in a different sort of thing after our date, I swear that I would have put in the most amazing woman I've ever met. Or the beautiful girl who I'm lucky to have gone on a date with.
God.
That's cute. Come on.
Pouring it on a little thick, don't you think, John?
Give him some credit, Denise.
And then you couple that with everything else that happened that night.
Yeah. I guess you're right. A lot of stuff did happen.
Good.
Everything else was good, John. John, you forgot her name. You yelled at the wait staff about the bill, and then you invited her back to your place an hour into the date, and she said no.
Okay, look, I admit it wasn't like the best date, but that was like incredibly unlucky. One, the fact that But I misunderstood what time happy hour was. That's just like bad luck. I heard her name. I just couldn't like hear it well enough at the club. That's bad luck. The only one that's actually my fault is asking her too soon to go to my place. That one I take full responsibility for.
Denise, would you like to go out on a second date with John? We'll pay for it.
I don't know.
Come on.
Just give him another shot. Now that he knows your name and he knows not to yell at waiters.
It's me. I mean, it would be really hard for me to start over on this one.
Do you want to give him a shot, though, and see if he can do it?
I promise that you'll get to know the real me, that you'll have a wonderful time. I'll be a total gentleman. I think that you should give me another chance.
And I'm going to pay for the date so he can't complain about the bill. That's my job at this point.
Yeah, we won't even go to happy hour.
This is against my better judgment, but fine. I'll do it.
You'll do it? You'll go out with John again.
Yeah.
Awesome, John.
God, I can't believe we're celebrating a response like fine.
Congratulations, John. You got a second date.
Thank you, guys. Denise, I promise you will not regret this.
Yep, we'll send you and whatever her name is out again, and you let me know how everything goes, okay?
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Are you single and feeling out of the loop? Put away that mouse and get out of the house. Join In the Loop, Seattle's brand new activities club just for singles. Go to intheloopsingles.com today.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
The guy on the phone for a second date update today had a very awkward ending to his first date. He thought he was about to seal the deal, driving the girl back to his place, and then she said, nope. Turn around, take me back to my car so I can go home.
Oh, what?
How horrible is that? We'll get into that in a second. I'll have him tell us all about that. But Dane is on the phone, and he wants to call a girl named Hillary today. Dane, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you guys?
I would not be all right if I were you. I'd be a very sad, broken man after reading your email.
Well, I'm getting over it. I've had a little bit of time to heal, I guess.
Good to hear.
Oh, I'm
good
sure
to hear.
it was so hurtful.
Good to hear. All right, before we get into all that, just first of all, tell me a little bit about the girl that you want us to call today. Where'd you meet her?
Well, we actually met off of Tinder.
Okay.
And, I liked the way that she looked, and we kind of started texting a little bit and decided that we were going to meet up for a date.
And are you a guy, Dane, who often meets chicks off of Tinder?
Yeah, well, I suppose. I mean, it's 2015. I mean,
that's where everybody meets these days, isn't it?
Man.
The technology is there, so why not use it?
Why not take advantage of it? I agree with you on that one. So what did you guys do when you decided to meet up?
We met up at a restaurant by the mall.
Uh-huh.
We went to kitchen, and it was actually pretty
The meal or the time spent with her?
No, the meal was The time spent with her was cool. The drinks were good, and the conversation was good.
Okay. So did you purposely bring her to a restaurant that you really don't like?
I didn't know it was going to be that bad. It's been a while since I've eaten there, and I was hoping that they had fixed their problem.
Suddenly the second date update has turned into a Yelp review.
Yeah.
All right. So you didn't enjoy the food much, but you enjoyed her company, and dinner went well?
Yeah, I enjoyed her company. Dinner went well. She was just as hot as she was in her pictures, so that was no disappointment.
And was your goal here the entire time to hook up with this girl because you met on Tinder and you just wanted, or are you looking for, to actually date someone?
Well, I mean, isn't that everyone's goal eventually is to hook up with somebody?
Some people want to have a relationship with a person. Other people just want to have one night.
Well, I mean, I live by kind of the mantra kind of that, you can't go in expecting too much.
Yeah.
So if something came out of it, great. But
you go with the flow. You hook up, never talk to her again. That's cool. You hook up and then have a relationship with her. That's cool too.
Right. But this chick was really cool, and I'm just kind of at a loss. That she hasn't called me or returned any of my text messages or phone calls.
Well, the big thing that I picked up from your email was the car ride back to your place. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, okay. Well, here's what happened. After dinner, we went to go see a movie, and it was a pretty good movie. During the movie, she kind of leaned her head on my shoulder, and I was like, okay, this is nice. So I figured, it's go time.
What?
It's go time because she put her head on your shoulder.
Did she also make eye contact once and you knew?
No, it's like
I hope that you tried to like see if she was actually interested. It was just like head on the shoulder, and then all of a sudden you're unzipping your pants. Like,
no, it's not like I did the old hole in the popcorn bucket trick.
So that's go time for you, huh?
I just thought she was getting comfy with me, so
Okay.
I just figured, let's get out of here.
So you figured, let's get out of here?
Yeah, it was towards the end of the movie, so
How do you do that, Dane?
Well, she didn't not go.
She put her head on your shoulder, and you just turned to her like, "Yeah, I know what that means. Get out of here." That is impressive, Dane.
Are you sure that she understood your intentions?
I mean, what would you have thought? That I wanted to go have coffee?
Possibly. Honestly, I think head on her shoulder is so innocent. Like, hand on a thigh maybe indicates a little bit more. Head on her shoulder.
Well, do you remember? I did meet this girl on Tinder.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Tinder's pretty much a hookup app. So if you go out on a
my
Tinder date
gosh.
and somebody says, "Let's get out of here," usually means go back to my place.
Yeah, and on her Tinder profile, it's not like, some people on Tinder, they say, I'm not here for hookups, swipe left. And she didn't have that.
Okay.
Oh, so obviously
Well,
she's into it.
Regardless, she agreed to go in your car with you wherever you were going when you said, "Let's get out of here." That says a
did.
lot to me.
And she had her own car.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened in the car ride then?
We were just kind of chit-chatting about halfway over to my house. She gave me the old, I shouldn't do this routine.
Okay.
And she asked if I would drive her back to her car. And so I said, "Are you sure?" And, she was, I guess. And, I'm not a creep, so I took her back over to the mall where her car was.
That's way less than what I would have done. Are you sure? I would have actually pulled the car over, got on my hands and knees, and begged, "Please, we're almost there.
so
We're
close."
almost to my house. Please come back with me."
Well, maybe that's how I felt inside, but I didn't want to actually say that or do that. But
All right. So you took her back to her car and dropped her off. Did you guys kiss or anything?
no, that was kind of weird too. Actually,
Yeah.
I dropped her off and I asked her if I did something wrong, and she just said, it was a first date and we should probably take things slow. And she gave me a hug.
Okay.
So the closest intimacy you guys had was head on shoulder and hug.
Yeah.
All right.
She was like, "Yeah, text me or call me." And I was like, "Okay." So I have a couple of times. Texted her a couple of times, called her a couple of times, and I haven't heard anything from her.
Nothing at all.
Not even like a, "Hey, you're nice, but this isn't nothing.
Okay.
Do you remember a moment in the car where her mood changed? Where she started second guessing what she was doing?
Yeah, about the time when she said, I really shouldn't do this.
No. If there's anything
It's kinda
before,
obvious
Dave,
right
it
there. Yeah.
led up to that.
Spells it out for you. All right, man. Well, we're going to play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, okay?
All right, great.
All right, man. Hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Dane, I think I know how you screwed up on your first date.
You do?
I do. I think you gave your date too much time to think about her bad decision.
No.
That's what I think happened.
Why has it got to be a bad decision?
Because it's you, Dane.
If you're just tuning in for the second date update, Dane met this girl off of Tinder. They went, had dinner, went to the movies. During the movie, she put her head on his shoulder, and to Dane, he was like, "Yes, it's time to do this." So he said, "Let's get out of here." And they were driving back to his place, but like halfway there, she stopped and said, "Nope, I'm not down. Take me back to my car." Dane, being the gentleman that he is, took her back to the car and dropped her off and hasn't heard from her since. But what I'm saying is you gave her too much time. When she put her head on your shoulder, instantly, pants should have come off. Should have done it right there in the movie theater. You gotta, when opportunity knocks, you gotta answer the call. Don't give it too much time for her to think about it. I think that's.
Well, I don't want to get arrested.
Yeah.
Hey, it's worth it. Trust me.
It's worth it.
All right.
And are you looking for another date with this girl, or are you looking to finish what got stopped in the middle of the drive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Both.
Exactly.
Okay.
Either one.
Good answer.
Yeah.
All
You're
right.
asking some very obvious questions to this guy. He just wants to get a
All right.
piece, and then if it turns into more.
Simple. I need to be more simple.
Yes, you do. Here we go, Dane. I'm about to call it right now and get your second date update.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Hillary, please?
This is Hillary.
Hey, Hillary, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Hey.
Hey. What's going on?
Who is this?
Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning. I'm calling you because somebody recently emailed us about you.
Huh?
I recently got an email from somebody who wanted us to get in touch with you. His name is Dane.
Okay.
And you went out on a date with Dane a little while ago. Remember him?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Dane really enjoyed your time together. He told us a little bit about your date, but he actually wanted us to get you on the phone to find out why you're not calling him back because he would love to see you again.
I'm just not really interested anymore.
Okay. He told us about your date. He said that you guys were actually on the way back to his house and you told him to turn around.
He told you about what actually happened on our date?
Yeah. Yeah, because we weren't going to call you out of the blue without knowing what he thought of the date. So we talked to him a little bit about it. And he said he had a great time. You went to dinner and a movie. And then he was hoping for more. And then you asked him to turn around and take you back to your car.
Well, yeah, that kind of happened.
Did he say something to you to make you have a change of heart?
Well, you really shouldn't ask somebody on their first date what their favorite type of condoms are.
That was honestly a question he asked you?
Yeah, that threw me off, dude.
Yeah, I would think so. How did that come up?
How did that come up?
Yeah, I've been on a lot of dates before, and I've never once asked anybody what their favorite condom is, let alone on a first date.
Yeah. It was just like that. It was just kind of like out of the blue. Like 1 minute we're talking about how awful dinner was, and then he's like, so, hey, what's your favorite type of condom?
Come on.
That's even a creepier way to put it. Not what kind of condoms you like, what's your favorite condom?
Yeah.
It kind of almost sounds like he's calling you slutty a little bit. Like, hey,
you must be a condom
I know you
connoisseur.
use a lot of condoms. What's your favorite one?
I know. Like, seriously, like, that was just offensive. Like, what kind of girl does he think that I am?
Did you answer him?
No. I was like, no, I think that maybe we should just call it a night.
Yeah,
Go back to my car.
That's a way to kill the mood, I think.
Absolutely.
I don't even like having to go grab one like from my dresser drawer. I feel like it kills the mood, you know what I mean? But then to be like, hey, I hope this one's appropriate for you.
Let me pick out your favorite.
Yeah. I got a whole plethora of sizes and shapes, whatever you want. Oh, man, Hillary. I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I should also tell you that Dane's actually on the phone and listening to this, too.
What?
Yeah, he's actually on the other line.
Hi, Hillary.
Oh.
I'm really kind of floored. Like I didn't realize. I'm sorry. What can I really say? I'm sorry that you got offended, but I'm not sorry for asking you that question.
Oh, wow.
Because I think it's kind of a fair question to ask. I thought I was being nice.
What?
Polite.
Are you serious? You thought that I was that kind of girl?
Well, I don't
Hello?
think you're a particular kind of girl, but we were heading back to my house. We left the movie a little early. We were heading back to my house. I mean, maybe I just had the wrong assumption. I mean,
yeah, maybe you think, maybe, possibly.
Well, when you got in my car, maybe it would have been nice to tell me that, hey, I just want to cuddle or something like that. I thought it was actually a pretty logical question in this day and age.
Logical? You think that's logical? Like, it would have been nicer if you would have just asked what kind of flowers I like, not what kind of condoms I want.
What? Why would I ask you about flowers when we're about to go back to my house and have sex? I might ask you about flowers
You
the
don't
next
know
morning.
that's what's going to happen. You don't know that.
Well, come on. I met you off Tinder.
Come on,
There you
Dane.
go. That's good rationale right there.
Just because I met you off Tinder doesn't mean that I'm going to sleep with you, you moron.
All right.
I don't know.
Why were you going back to my house? I'm so confused.
And Hillary, why wouldn't you have just told him at that point, hey, we're not going to need condoms because we're not doing that?
Well, I said take me back to my car. That was enough.
Well, I think the polite thing was to ask you what kind of condoms you want. The impolite thing was to not call me back.
Yeah, there you go. You're the one who's wrong here, Hillary. Hey, Hillary, would you like to go on a second date with Dane? I will pay for it.
I really would like to.
Hell no, I will not go out on another date with him.
All right. I kind of figured as much. Well, Hillary, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Sure, thank you.
The one thing that I do need to know, though, is what is your favorite kind?
Ribbed for her pleasure.
Nice choice, girl.
That's all you had to say.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Got a text in at 78592 says, that dude had a point. They were on the way back to his house, but it's still a very awkward question. That guy is just dumb. They're talking about the second date update. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning. I'm moving 92.5. This guy, Dane, wanted us to call this girl Hillary back after their date. Didn't understand why after they had saw a movie and they were heading back to his place. She said, turn the car around. We're not going back there. Well, on the way there, he looked to her and said, what's your favorite condom? Because apparently he didn't have any protection at his house and wanted to get some. But that's a very weird way to phrase it, and it made her feel awkward, and it killed the mood, and she doesn't really want to see him again.
Good for him for using protection. We'll give him that. That's a positive.
Yeah, but always take it with you, or stop at the store. Go, hey, why don't I grab a bottle of wine, some vino? Say it like that, too, and then bite your lower lip after you say it. But disguise it with something else. Like, I'm going to grab some wine, and then you go in there, and then you just, like, clear the condom aisle out. And you come out with, like, a bag full of condoms and, like, beer. You know?
They also have
try to disguise it a little bit.
boxes where you can get, like, a multi-pack, so you just have some options.
Remember, if you want us to do a second date update, all you have to do is email the show, brookandjubal at moving925.com. We will call the person who didn't call you back.
Moving 92.5. Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
You want to know if you're absolutely terrible at dating? We can help you with that with the second date update. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning. I'm moving 92.5. We have Cameron on the phone right now. Cameron, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Now, your email said that you met a girl named Julia through friends. I do want to point out that your email also said it felt like she just got you.
Aww.
It sounds cornier when you say it out loud. I did feel like she got me. Like, I thought we had a connection.
What'd you guys do during your date?
We went down to, like, Pioneer area, sort of Safeco area. That whole area is blown up. I love that district.
Okay.
We had dinner down there, and I was gregarious and fun, and, you know, she laughed at my jokes.
If I don't say so myself,
Wow,
I was
Cameron.
outgoing and hilarious. But then again, I'm just doing what Cameron does. I'm not making fun of you. I'm sorry. So anyway, you felt like she had a good time. She was laughing at your jokes. You had a good dinner with her.
Yeah, like, she was giving me good signs.
Okay, like she was maybe like touching your arm or...
Well, okay, not exactly that.
Oh. Right.
But when I dropped her off, we did have a steamy makeout session.
Okay, okay. So there was
Okay.
physical contact. She's
Yeah.
into it.
How'd the date end?
I'm trying to think back if she sort of said, hey, nice to meet you, or if she was like, hey, let's talk soon. I can't exactly remember, but I felt like if I were to text her the next day, she would respond. I waited a few days.
Okay.
How many days?
5 days. I waited until the following weekend, like
All right.
Friday, and I sent her a text.
That's a long time.
5 days does seem like a long time. It seems like if I were a girl, it sounds like a starting of a song. If I were a girl, anyway. But I would think 5 days, like maybe the guy has blown me off. So do you think maybe that happened, Cameron?
That's hard to say.
It's like you're losing your forward momentum. If you come off a hot, steamy makeout session, a girl wants to know right away that you also felt it was great.
Yeah, maybe I should have midweek, sent her a message or...
You can't think of any reason why she wouldn't want to call you.
there were some lulls in the conversation, but we didn't clash politically. We avoided those subjects.
All right. Okay. Hey, Cameron, we're gonna get her on the phone right after this song, and see if we can get an answer for you. Okay.
Hopefully she doesn't really hate me for doing this.
All right. So just hang out for 3.5 minutes, and we'll get the second part of your second date update. All right.
Thank you.
Hold on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Okay, Cameron's on the phone with us. He emailed us about a girl named Julia who he went on a date with. They had dinner, made out at the end of the night. You waited 5 days to try to get a hold of her via text message. Do you think that maybe you might have waited too long?
I wonder.
Okay.
I wonder.
All right.
Oh, Cameron.
We'll call her right now, see if we can get her on the phone and ask her, okay?
Awesome.
And feel free to go ahead and jump in on the conversation whenever.
And bring out that confidence, Cameron. You got it in you. I know it.
Okay.
Hello,
Hi, is Julia there?
this is she.
Julia, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning on Moving 92.5.
Oh, hello.
What's going on?
Nothing.
Nice.
It's always a weird follow-up question.
I know, right?
You just called to say hi.
Calling to see what you're up to, how things been. How's life? We haven't talked in a while, Julia, or ever, have we?
Yeah.
I'm calling you because I wanted to ask you a question about somebody you know.
Okay.
Do you have any idea of who I might want to call you about?
No.
How familiar are you with our show?
I'm familiar.
Okay. Have you ever heard the second date updates before?
Yes.
What if I were to tell you that somebody emailed us about going on a date with you?
Oh.
Take it
Now
away.
Now can you guess who it might be that wants to find out why you didn't call them back after you guys went on a date?
Was it Mike?
Oh,
It is
wow.
not Mike.
Interesting.
Okay.
You think we could narrow it down some more? Sounds like there's a lot of options. Not calling a lot of men back.
Okay, go ahead. Guess again. I want to see if you can guess it now. It's not Mike. It's somebody else that you went on a date with recently.
Cameron, I think.
Oh, I think.
Cameron, you think? That's it.
I don't know.
It's Cameron. It's Cameron.
It is?
Yes.
Okay.
He emailed us because he wants to know why you guys went out and you never called him back. He said he sent you a text 5 days after your date, and you didn't respond.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind telling us why?
It was a fine date. We got along.
Okay.
He let us know that there was kind of a hot and steamy makeout session at the end of the night.
Yes, there was. I admit it.
It's okay. It's okay. So you were into him, right?
I mean, it was kind of weird because he smelled like a girl.
He smelled like a girl.
Like he was wearing women's perfume.
What?
I don't know if he had been with a girl earlier that day or he just has a weird lady perfume fetish or
Julia, guys' cologne sometimes could smell like women's perfume. Do you think
True.
that maybe he just made a bad selection?
no, this was flowery, Marc Jacobs smelling.
Oh.
My best friend wears the same perfume.
Hey, Julia.
Yeah.
Cam's on the phone with us.
What?
Hey,
Hi.
what's up?
What's up?
Cameron.
I'll help you out, Cameron.
No, I'm not fond of men's cologne. I think it's too musky and musty and weird.
What?
So
Okay, so you were wearing women's perfume?
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
to
I
each
mean,
their own.
whatever your scent is, man. But
sometimes I wear a little touch of a subtle women's perfume.
So, Cameron, can I ask you this? I think wearing women's perfume, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
But does it go beyond women's perfume ever?
I'll answer that with a resounding no.
So it's just
the perfume doesn't match the underwear, is what we're asking. All right.
It does not.
So, Julia, you were just turned off by the fact that Cameron smelled like a girl.
Yeah.
And that's the reason you didn't call me, Julia?
Yes.
Is that the only reason?
Also, I didn't really think you were that good of a kisser.
That's a whole nother thing.
That sounds mean.
What was bad about his kissing?
I just like a lot of, like, saliva.
He just kissed like a woman, didn't he? Is that what
But his lips were so soft.
well, Julia, we'll pay for the second date. If you'll go out with Cameron again, we will pay for it.
That is so nice. However, I don't think so.
Really?
I think it just would be not.
What if he agrees not to wear perfume?
Yeah.
I mean, there just wasn't a connection.
All right.
Okay.
You're scared that he's going to show up for the date and you guys are going to be wearing the same top and it's going to be awkward.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.